So the question of the week is, do strict rules really help the students or not? We reached out to the public to get their honest opinions on this question. A student said, it depends on what the strictness is about and the degree of strictness. Strictness is good, yes, because it helps keep students in check, helps mold their habits, grants them directions in life. However, if a school's rules are too strict, absolutely no, then no, they do not help the students. In my opinion, yes, rules are meant to help us and keep us in check, but sometimes you can't control someone's mind and someone's actions at every single time. There will be a little, little times where some students may go wayward or come back in line, and you have to, live with it. Another student said, strict rules make us stubborn more. It got to a time after lights out, no one is supposed to be seen outside. That's the time you will see boys even washing, eating. The fact that you tell them not to do something, that's what they do more. I personally went to a boarding school once where we also had a curfew time. And after the curfew, we still came out, went to our friends' dormitories to, do kokonsa or just go and just be making noise, having fun. Sometimes the house mistress might get, annoyed, angry, but eventually she'll be okay by the next morning. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't have fun or do something engaging or entertaining after curfew, but just make sure you don't go too above the rules. Sometimes stuff like this can be punishable, but just a little. Another student said, not really. Let's take hair for instance. We claim we are an independent country and free from colonization, yet the rule where black children weren't allowed to keep their hair while the half caste do still stands. Cutting of hair is an unnecessary rule because hair doesn't affect one's intelligence. Hair doesn't affect one's intelligence, true. But we are in a country where there's public and private school and there's rules for each. Most private schools allow students to keep their hair, but you must have some specific hairstyles. And even with that, trust me, some students still want to do their own hairstyles and bring to school. So if you are lucky to be keeping one hairstyle, trust me, imagine going into the shower and feeling the cold water on your scalp. Don't you like it? But who am I to judge? You can go to a private school if you want. If not, stay in a public school just for 4 years and you'll be fine. Some go for 3 years. Cutting your hair is not going to make you bald for the rest of your life. Just manage it small. Another person said, no, they just make us more stubborn. Stubbornness is part of the nature of every child or every teen in this country, not even in this country, in the whole world, in my opinion. You can be stubborn this level, that level, and that level. But, with school rules, let's just keep it intermediate or maybe really little. Too much stubbornness may lead to a lot of punishments or difficult consequences. Our last answer for this session is strict school rules can help students, but only up to a point. It depends on how strict is defined and whether the rules are enforced fairly, where strict rules help. So, having strict rules in school is like having strict parents at home. There's a saying that strict parents have sneaky kids, which I agree with in a way. Because the more strict you are, the more the kids are going to be doing stuff behind you and not letting you know whatever is happening. So maybe some schools need to ease their strictness on the students in order to keep the rules being followed and abided. I'm your host, Naki, and this is Hot Seats brought to you by High Schools Edibot.